Peace. So time to this one. And I got a little article along with some more research that I'm gonna put together in this video. Might be a long video, so stay still, hold on tight. Go get your snacks or whatever you're gonna do, because it's gonna be kind of a long one. Alright, so got this article right here from Society and Culture. Alright, and let me see. And it's listed, the website is www.furity.org, Native American Slavery. Alright, so it says Society and Culture. It said colonists shipped Native Americans aboard as slaves. Alright, so this can basically start up arguments or conversations, because you don't see no Hispanics or nobody else around the world except maybe in Spain and these other countries, right? But they're telling you that they shipped so-called people from here around the world. Alright, so we're going to get into this, alright? I actually did maybe about 4 or 5 videos on this, but every time I do it, I'm going to bring up different research and different articles, because as you see, there's a lot of literature on this and stuff that can be examined, and it can actually be used just to update the history that we're dealing with. Alright, even if, like I said, they might not never put this shit in the history books, and it's not up to them to put it in their history books. It's up to us to teach your people, you know what I'm saying, or teach their children. You know what I'm saying? Like when Chinese kids come home, they get taught their culture. And every other culture, with the exception of some of these people that come here and sell out and lose their culture, most people who are, let me say, how can I say that? Most people who honor and respect their culture, they normally teach their children their culture. So it's not really up to the school system to teach your children that they are Aborigines, or that it was black people, or that was Indian slaves here, to where you don't even get an idea that the other slaves was Indian. And I think that they do that, I don't know, because if you know that there was Indian slaves, then you're going to say, well, hold up, what happened to them? Was they on the same plantation with the so-called Africans? How many Indian slaves was here? How many was shipped out? And so forth and so forth. Alright, so we're gonna go through this. Let's read it. Alright, you already know I don't speak the King Queen English the best. I will make grammatical errors sometimes, so just get used to it. If you respect the content, respect the way that I teach this shit, because it's kind of hard teaching. It's kind of hard reading, and I don't have time to rehearse none of this stuff. All this stuff right here, I just put together, and I just look for research, and I find the research. Even though I read some of these articles, I skim read. Like in college, they teach you how to read and skim through shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what I'm working with. So with that being said, let's get with it. All right. So it said Native Americans included non-combatants who surrendered during King Philip War. We know King Philip War was in 1660 something, because the first Pequot War was in 1637. It say to avoid enslavement, who were enslaved at nearly the same rate as captured combatant. Research showed Native American slavery is a piece of history of slavery that has been grossed over, says Linford D. Fisher, associate professor at History of Brown University. Between 1492 and 1880, between 2 and 5.5 million Native Americans were enslaved in the Americas. An additional, now here they go with this, they say an additional 12.5 million African slaves. All right, but we're going to deal with that right there. All right, we're going to come back to that. Don't even worry about that. I got something for that. They say while natives have been forced into slavery and servitude as early as 1636. Remember, it wasn't 1636 because Squanto was took into Europe in 1614. Okay, so remember that. And also, we already know what Columbus and them did when they came. All right, so it say it was not until King Philip War that natives were enslaved in large numbers. Fisher writes in the studies. In 1675 and 1676, war-pitted Native Americans leader King Philip, also known as Metacon, which we already discussed him, but we're going to go into just the former perspective, and his allies against the English colonial settlers. During the war, New England colonies routinely shipped Native Americans as slaves to Barbados, Bermuda, and Jamaica. So there you have it. Now this one say Jamaica. The other one don't say Jamaica. That's why I like to cross-reference these articles. The other, it says Barbados and Bermuda. So properly process that. So it was people that was taken from Massachusetts and sent to Barbados and Bermuda. And they telling you that it was almost 2 to 5.5 million people that was enslaved. And they telling you just that in that region of Massachusetts. That ain't got nothing to do with the other states or what they call the southern states, which would be Virginia, the Carolinas, which Georgia is part of the Carolinas, and so forth. All right. So it says, now look. It says, during the war, New England colonies routinely shipped Native American. Now, understand this. Understand this. Let me clarify this, right? Because I don't want people to get confused. Look and see when the English took over the Caribbean. Because remember, the Spanish had the Caribbean first, okay? The English took over the Caribbean around like 1630 something, okay? And this is when you get into the Maroons and all that other stuff. But what I'm telling you is that when they telling you the English wasn't shipping people to Spain, because the English and the Anglos and the Spanish and the other Catholic European countries was warring against them. So we know that they was not even they was not even having negotiations or talking and like that, because they was warring one another. So the English, which was the Anglo side or the northern European people or whatever you want to call them or whatever, they was warring with the Portuguese, France, and Spain. Okay, so when you see right here when it says Jamaica and the Azores, now I don't even know what the fuck the Azores is, but I'll look this up later on. Matter of fact, man, let me see something. Let me just pull this up real quick. Portugal. Okay, the Azores is Portugal. Alright, so boom. Alright, the island. Alright, boom. So we already know what that is. Alright, so let's go back here. Alright, so the Azores, Spain, and Tangier is saying North Africa. Alright, so now they telling you, during the war, New England colonies routinely shipped Native Americans as slaves to Barbados and Bermuda, Jamaica, the Azores, which we just said was Portugal, Spain, Tangier, and North Africa, says Fisher. Okay, now, like I said, don't quote him on that, because we know that England was not even fucking with Spain or the Portugal. So we know that they was not shipping people to Spain or Portugal. They telling you this from a whole story. See, from a micro point of the European slavery, the English really didn't get into slavery until late. Because that wasn't their premise. They came here for the land. The Spain, and Portugal and France, they wanted land, but they wanted more of the resources that was here to take back to Portugal, Spain, and France. Alright, so for the English to ship somebody to Portugal and Spain when they was warring with them, because look, check this out. Look at this, and I'm gonna show y'all something. Check this out. I think I spelled that wrong, but fuck it. But check this out. Alright. So the Anglo-Spanish Wars. Now you see this. Now it's a couple of them. Now this one right here is from 1796 until 1802, which if we go back here, we'll see that they was warring earlier than that. They was warring from 1585 to 1604. Alright. And you see other, like, it's a couple, they was warming out the whole time. I don't really feel like pulling that up because that ain't part of what I'm doing, but you look it up. Alright, so alright, we're gonna go down. So it say, while Africans who were enslaved did not know where they would be taken, Native Americans understood that they could be sent to the Caribbean plantations and face extremely harsh treatment from far from their homes and communities. According to the study, fear of this fate spurred some Native Americans to pledge to fight to death, while others surrender, hoping to avoid being sent overseas. The study found Fisher's studies appeared in the Journal of Eno History in whatever Eno. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it. Eno History. All right. It's a documentation of Native Americans enslaved so up in the colonies, correspondence, shipping records, court cases, town records, colonial government orders, and petitions from colonists in the British government. Okay, it's a even contemporary official history of the wars all point to the same thing. Indians were enslaved in masses and either distributed locally or sent overseas to various destinations. Fisher writes in the studying Native slavery have opened up in recent years. Fisher says with award-winning books published in 2002-2003 highlighting the systematic Native indigenous enslavement. See now look, when these Europeans are the ones that's telling these stories, they putting these mongoloid faces on the experience, when these mongoloids ain't have shit to do with this. Okay, we already know it, and this is still in Massachusetts. I don't have to pull up the Pequot tribe, modern day Pequot tribe today, and show you that these people are still black to this day. Okay, so understand that. All right, so it's saying, even with the English colonies, Fisher studies on those who surrendered in King Philip War look at what factors contributed to native slavery. The impact of enslavement had Native Americans for generations surrender or resist. Okay, say Fisher examines the short and long-term effect of native slavery in his studies, noting that during the war, the widespread fear of being sold overseas as slaves was used by Philip ally Native Americans as a tool to recruit natives to the other side. It say other Native Americans surrender. Fisher writes either in response to the epic is a inducement by the English offering mercy, or because they hope that doing so would be understood as a statement of neutrality. It say these surrenders could be individual families, large bands, and entire communities. Fisher says. It says some Native Americans often offered their services to English in war, like the Awahawks, the female chief of the Confederate. Look at this right here. Look at this shit right here. Hold up. Look at this shit right here. The females of the Confederate Sakanat. Now hold up, man. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. That word look familiar right there. Okay? That word looks so fucking familiar. Okay? What is the fucking female segment? Well, no. I'm sorry. What is the female warrior for the Egyptians? The lady. This word right here look familiar. It's Sakanat. The Sikanat Indians pledged support on other conditions. Now look, it said the female chief of the Confederate Sikanat Indians who pledged support on the condition of the Sikanat men, women, and children would not be killed or sent out the country as slaves. Now look, now remember, now these tribes right here are the tribes that was allowed to be freemen eventually. Okay? Now I say was not sent out of the country as slaves, according to study. It say especially near the war. Now they basically did anything the Europeans did, even mixed with them and let them claim that they was fucking Indians. Now this is the shit that was going on, especially near the end of the war. Fisher writes the natives surrender in large numbers. And now look, check this out, man. Let me hold up. All right, so them Native Americans that surrendered in large numbers, what do you think happened to them? What do you think happened to them? Some of them, they probably allowed them to keep their culture, but for the most part, a lot of them lost their culture. You understand what I'm saying? they said they surrendered in large numbers. Now I just read at the top it said 2.2 to 5 million. Now that's just an estimate on his behalf. That ain't got nothing to do with what was going on in the other fucking states. This is only in Massachusetts. This is only in Massachusetts. Alright, so it says especially near the wars. In Fisher writes, natives surrender in large numbers in direct response to promise of leniency. They say, but leniency had not consent practical no consent practical meaning. All right. So it say English authorities focus first on disarming natives, either by selling guns, turn in by surrendering, or prohibiting them from bearing arms. It say Fisher writes, English communities objected to letting natives who surrendered simply go free, and housing and feeding them was complicated, so captives and surrendered natives were simply sold into slavery, both overseas and within New England, and forced into servitude in limited terms within English households. Okay, y'all. Okay. And say in addition, now look, check this out. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something. Why I got this shit up here? Okay. Let me see where we at. Where we at? South Atlantic. All right. Let me go to Massachusetts real quick. Oh, it should be coming up right here. All right, hold up. I think this is it right here. Maryland, hold up. It should be right under Maryland. All right, so let me see something real quick. Massachusetts, bam. All right, so 1790 right here. Let's look at this number right here. 1790. You guys are all familiar with this. We got total population, white, black. Okay. Now this is only in Massachusetts itself, right? This is in Massachusetts. All right. So, alright, so you see right here American Indians and Pacific Islanders, right? Now you do see them on the census, but you don't see them until 1860. Now look, in 1860 there was only 32 so-called Indians, right? And you didn't see no Asians open, but you see them jump up to 1870. Boom, by 1890 there's 400, alright? Now check this out. You go up, it goes up, it goes up. Alright, so boom. But white and black. Let's look at the white and black. Now I just told you. Now, let me go back. Let me just go back. Alright. Now you see where we at. It says New Englanders. Motivation for enslaving Native American, including making money and clearing lands for colonists to claim. Fisher writes, it was also easier to remove Native Americans from regions than to sell them local and risk having Native Americans run away to find refuge. Fisher also argued that there was a ideological component to enslaving Native Americans. Among colonists, there was a presumption involving the innate inferior of natives. Okay, now he says there was a proto-racial notion of European superiority. Okay, so let me read that again. This coming from a European. Okay, there was a proto-racial notion of European superiority, plus the appetite for the land. He says, if you look at the history of the colony, slavery happened almost right away. Okay? Now, it's not telling you that it happened and they was bringing people. They telling you they enslaved the people. And this is, think about it. Okay? This article is very crucial, right? It says, Fisher says, he is increasingly convinced that the colonist slavery was as normal part of their mental framework. Some free Native Americans working with the English tried to influence where Native American surrender would be settled and how they would be treated. Fisher writes, like the Yukas, And the Saxons, it say of the Mohegan and Connecticut, say the Yukas who fought on the other side of the English seemed determined post-war to keep Indians out of the English household. It's saying even more important, off of the English merchant ships that threatened to take them to the Caribbean. Fisher writes, the Yucca and other Native Americans also engaged captive to run away and sheltered them when they did. It say, or help them resettle everywhere. According to the study, in other cases, Fisher writes, Native Americans requested captive as servants for themselves, to say sometimes to keep them out of the English household, and said served as slave trading middlemen. In one case, Fisher notes, Native American slaves owned by the Pequot leader were sold by him and enslaved. See what I'm saying? This is when they fucking start lying right here, man. Because they only mention Africans at the top, right? But this is when they start fucking lying right here, okay? Now, they telling you that the Pequots own African slaves. No, he owned Indian slaves. Stop lying. Like, this is what I'm saying. These articles can be so fucking decisive when you're reading them. Now, let me go back over it. It said in one case, Fisher notes a Native American slave, okay? Now, check this out. A Native American slave owned by a Pequot leader was sold by him to an enslaved African woman. Okay, now hold up. Oh, man. Let me go back over that, because maybe I'm not processing that properly. In one case, Fisher notes, a Native American slave owned by a Pequot leader was sold by him to an enslaved African woman. Maybe I'm not connecting on that, all right? Slavery by other names. The shadow of native enslavement in New England extends to the 18th century and beyond, okay? So now look, check this out. The shadows of native enslavement in the New England extends into 18th century and beyond, okay? So let's hold up while we got this fucking census pulled up here. So it says this is 1790, okay? Now they said this is 1800 right here. You see 1800 right here? It says well beyond the 1800s they had Indian slaves. So they was already there in the 1600s. And what did they say right here? Look at this. If we go back up here, let me see something. All right. It say there were prototype racial notions of European superiority plus the appetite for land. He says, if you look at the history of the colonies, slavery happened almost right away, okay? So if they telling you it happened almost right away, when did they say they came in contact? In 1621, 1637, okay? Them are the dates that they give you. So if it happened right away, why are there no Indians on the fucking census, okay? Because the Indians are here. The Indians are here. And then you see this right here? Look at this. They saying that all these people was free. They saying all these black people was free in 1790. So I find that to be kind of strange too. You know what I'm saying? That they saying all these people was free. Okay? But when I'm also like look, you don't see no population of Indians, okay? You see a very small population of so-called blacks, okay? They told you that they enslaved millions, so where the fuck did they go? Where did they go? Where did they go? Why is the number only 5,463? Right here in 1790, okay? Let's keep on reading, man. All right, so where was I at? Let me make sure I get right back where I was at. So I don't even... All right, so we was right here. All right, hold up. Let me make sure. Hold up. All right, so slavery by another name. All right, we right here. Okay. It says slavery by... the shadows of native enslavement in New England extends into the 18th century and beyond. Fisher says there are records of people petitioning for freedom in the 1740s. All right, now check this shit out. There are people petitioning for freedom in the 1740s. Who do you hear about people petitioning for freedom for? You don't hear about this for Indians, okay? But they're trying to tell you that both these slave trades happen simultaneously or parallel at the same time, which that is fucking crazy. Because you, when we look on the census, the mistake that they made was not putting no Indians on it. So that will already give you the assumption that the black classification was for the people who were stripped of their so-called Indian statue, and they was classified as black because they did call you blackamoors first, okay? And this is, I ain't gotta, man, that's proof. I ain't gotta even pull that shit up. It say in this study, he writes, some legal loopholes and dishonest practices on the ground ensure that in many cases limited term service turned into lifetime and a hereditable slavery. That means that it was hereditary. Saying in 1676, now look, that's telling you in 1676. Now look, in 1676, Connecticut officials decreed that a native slave term, let me read that again. They say Connecticut officials decreed that a native slave term of conditions can be lengthened but not shortened. Okay? Alright, so we right here. Boom, check this shit out. The witchcraft was part of everyday life. Now check this shit out right here. Now when they tell you to Salem witch hunt, I believe Salem was actually in fucking New England. Okay? Now check this out. It say a law passed the same year by the Rhode Island General Assembly seems on the surface to outlaw Indian slavery. Okay, say, but Fisher notes in practice that other laws ensured that Indian surrender were disposed of for the benefit of the colony. The various terms of servitude, the Native American 5 year of, no, it say for Native Americans 5 year of age or younger, their servitude lasted until they was 30 years old. You hear that shit? So they had children enslaved a lifetime. It say the enslavement practices permanently disrupted the lives, livelihood, and kinship network of thousands of Indians. Fisher write, and now they saying thousands. They telling you millions up there at the top. So the numbers should be more like hundreds of thousands at this point in time. All right. So it's saying Fisher writes, and sometimes slavery was simply given another name. Okay, check this out. It says in 1721, 45 years after the King Philip War, the Connecticut General Assembly took up the question of second generation Native American child slave. The Native American children who had been placed as servants in English households after the war has grown up and had children of their own. What should be done with them? Fisher writes that while the leaders did not approve of enslaving them, they also did not want to set them free, so that generations of children also became indentured servants. Okay? Now look. Check this out. That's what these are. The children indentured servants right here. You see this? You see this? You see the little child right here? You see this? This is the fucking child, bro. You understand? This is the child. You understand? And it's showing you. And you see that they working too. These are indentured servants right here. Look, you see, these are children. They don't have a feather crown on. What I noticed in studying this, that the children don't wear the feather crown. The only ones I seen wearing the feather crown was the adults. So when you see this is a child right here working. Another child. See this? These are children working, all right? Even though that this is in Virginia, they don't have no images of Massachusetts. So you can basically connect this with the same history, all right? So, I mean, like I said, you always want to update history, especially for the one who history has been hidden from them. So, you know what I'm saying? At the most part, you know what I'm saying? At least you get an idea of you indigenous to this land. You understand? So, let me see something. Let me go back. All right, so let's go back to this. All right. So, where was I? All right. So, say Native Americans so overseas occasionally made it back to the United States. Oh, shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Check this out. Native Americans sold overseas occasionally made it back to the United States. Fisher writes. Others died or disappeared in a wider slave market and labor forced to become established in the location where they were sent, like modern day communities and the individual of Bermuda who claim New England Indian descent. Now check this out. Let me see something, man. Let's just go to something right here. Let's see something real quick, man. Let's see if we can find these fucking Indians looking at these people. Now look. Now when you look at this shit, use your brain, okay? Now we do see Europeans in this shit. Alright, now let me see something. Let me make sure we on point. Now, how you can tell your people is by the eyes, okay? Straight up. You can tell your people by the fucking eyes. Now, you can tell me, I don't know what's up with him. Is he on some homo shit? But, look at this brother right here. This brother right here look just like an African American. We know that this nigga ain't from, we already know why he's there and where he came from. You understand? We already know. Now, look, let me see something. Let me see if this... Look, she look just like an African American. Look. Let me see right here. Look. What they say? Alright, are they still in Bermuda? I don't even know if they still in Bermuda. Let me see if these people from Bermuda. Alright, so they from Bermuda, alright? And look, they don't look like African Americans. Honestly. Let me see something else. And look at these brothers right here. Look. Look at these brothers right here. Look at these brothers right here. These brothers don't look like African Americans to you? Do they look like African Americans? Yes or no? Look. Well, nah, this is somewhere else though, but these niggas look like African Americans too. Fuck is this? This is some other shit. This is in Africa, man. That's why I'm clicking on the photos, man, to make sure to see where they at. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see if I can click it in like that. I know I put that in wrong, but fuck it, it'll come up. Alright, so boom. Let's see this picture right here. Now look, hold up. They say family portraits. Let me see something, man. Fuck this. We're gonna go somewhere else on this one. Let me see this right here, man. Let me see something. Alright, boom. Here we go. 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 Here we fucking go, y'all. Here we go. Alright, so hold up. Now this is the Wapanaki, okay? You know she's not the indigenous Indian. And what? He's ancestors of slaves, okay? The Blake Scott family, okay? The McIntosh family, okay? It's a Turtle Clan, Wind Clan, the Creek Nation, okay? Now the Creek Nation, these are Creek Indians right here, right? These are straight Creek Indians right here. This is Grafana. I don't know where the fuck. I guess this is in South America somewhere. Maybe. I don't know. I don't get me to line about that. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's see where the fuck that at. Yo, hold up. Let's see where the hell that's at. Caribbean islands. Let's see something. Let's see where it's at. Look, check this shit out. Look, let me see something. Let's read. That's why I say, man, when you doing research, this shit takes you down a lot of different tunnels, man. It say the Grafana. All right, it say all right, mixed race. All right, now you know they're gonna say that of West Africans, Central Africans, in island Caribbeans, Europeans, and Arawaks. Now check this out, man. They want you to believe that all these people look separate, with the exception of the Europeans. Okay, the Arawaks, then the island Caribbeans, Central Africans, and West Africans all look the fucking same. It say, although the background of Lesser Antilles since 1790, graffiti people are from Central America along the Caribbean coast of Honduras. Okay, it say with smaller population, Belize, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. They arrived there after being exiled from the island. It say Lesser Antilles of British colonial administration of Black Caribs after a series of slave revolt. Those Caribs deemed to have had lesser admixture. Okay, now check this out. It say them Caribbeans deemed to have less African admixture were not exiled and were still living in the fucking island. Now this is black Carib. Why would they call them Black Caribs? You understand? Now, let me see something. Let's. All right. Let me read a little bit more on this. All right. I told you it's gonna be a long one, so fuck. I got another 45 minutes to run through this real quick. Alright, so the Caribbean people migrated to the mainland of the island circa 1200 according to the carbon dating artifact. Now it's saying that they came in 1200, which that's a lot. Them people been there. It was actually land that covered the rest of the land, water that's covered the rest of the land. It said largely displaced, exterminated, and assimilated. The Tainos were the residents on the island at that time, which that's a lot. The Tainos wasn't. I don't believe that the Tainos was created until the Portuguese came in. I believe that all them people, why it doesn't make sense, because if you go to all them islands, if you was to take out all the European influence in that, you would get nothing but black people on all them fucking islands, all of them islands, all of them. You got Dominica. Let me see something, man. Let's go. Let me see something. All right, what was we at? All right, West Indies. West Indies. Let me see. Now check this out right here. Alright, so this, I guess this is the West Indies right here. Alright. So this is the West Indies, this is Jamaica, Caribbean, let me see, Cuba. So, alright, so boom, there you go. So you see this right here. I'm going to move this over a little bit, right? Now they said that, let me see something. Where's Guyana at? Guyana up here somewhere. So Guyana right here. Alright, boom. Alright, so got Aruba right here. Alright, you got all this Trinidad, and you got more islands out here that we probably can't even see. Look, let me see. Look, you got more islands you can't even see right there. They so fucking small. Grenada, look, Grenada, the fuck? Okay, Grenada, okay? Look, show y'all something. No, Charlottesville, Scarborough, Crown Point. What the? Hold up, man. Let's go a little closer in, man. There's islands all around here, man. All these little islands. Now, all right. Let's go back to what the original conversation was, or the original argument was. All right. So you see all these little islands right here. All right. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me go right there because you can see more. All right. Boom. You see all these little islands. All that's the fucking Caribbean. Alright, so we're gonna move this over here and get all these islands in view. So we got Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, DR, Puerto Rico, St. Juan, and so on, so on, so on. Alright. Now, I don't want to Google all these fucking countries and show you what the people look like over here. If there's no Spanish people in none of these countries right here. And the only reason you see mulattoes is because the Europeans came in and mixed in with them. Just like the people of British Virgin Islands. Okay, we know that they mulattoes because the Spanish came in. But they would try to play it off and say they would use them same mulatto people and call them Indians. And then say that the black people was the fucking slaves. You understand? And this is what's going on. Now check this out. Let me see something. Let's see something real quick. Indians of the British Island. Let me see. British Owls. Alright, let's see. Let's see what they look like. Alright, so hold up. Let me see. Alright, let me see. Native people. Let me see. Native people. Maybe I can find them like this. Native people of the British Isles. Now look. Now check this shit out. Alright, now let's see something. Let's see this motherfucker right here, man. Now look. They're trying to say that these are the indigenous Arawaks, right? Which is a fucking lie. This is update. Anytime you see pictures, understand this too, right? A lot of the brain fucking is going on because you see pictures. Now they trying to say that these are people that from the Spaniards, okay? They're from the Spaniards. These are not indigenous people. These are people who came there with the Spaniards, okay? Now they trying to say that these are Arawaks, right? Let me see something. Let me see something. Because this is the way you get it. You gotta say Afro. That's the key word. Check this shit out. Now look. Now look, you see this? Now they trying to say these are the Afro descendants, the African descendants in Honduras, right? Yo, this is so this is so crazy how they got their own people believing that shit. They trying to say that these are the Arawaks right here, right? They trying to say 1901 Arawaks. These are fucking, I don't know where the fuck these people came from, if you ask me. But they ain't pulling no skeletons out saying that them people looked it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I got other articles that show you that the people in them islands they already said was Negroes. You know what I'm saying? You can pull up articles. Pre-Columbian. Now the ones you said, the ones I already went over, but you already can see it. The shit I show you, bananas in America is a very interesting joint or whatever, and it shows a lot. Let me see if I can find that one real quick, cause that might. Let me see something. I can't find. I got it right here. You know what? That's funny. That's funny. That shit is not coming up. Hold on for a second. Let me look. I got it in my notes. Alright, I got it right here. Let me see. This motherfucker got all these initials and shit. Should pop up now. Let me see. That's odd. Shit still ain't popping though. Let me see. It's gonna pop up though. I don't think it's no conspiracy. Let me see something. Alright, so let me go to the website. I think it's this one. Alright, here you go, right here, too. Bang. And this is very interesting for anybody who want to do the research and read through this shit, because there's a lot of information in this right here. Alright? So it starts off telling you that, let me see. It was a certain page I was looking at, but it starts off right here telling you that the Negroes I'm still with you. I'm just looking for what I'm. Let me see. All right. Now let me go down. It's a very good article right here too. It has a lot of good information because it takes you into telling you that it was already Negroes here, because it's basically trying to get an argument of saying that that bananas is the same in other countries. All right, they saying that the bananas in the South Pacific islands is the same as the bananas here, right? And if you read through this, man, it has some good information, right? Right here. It said there's additional corroboration of anthropologists as to the extent to which the Pacific coast of the Americas was infiltrated by the Polynesians. It's a Horton, the leading physical anthropologist, an American describing the racial types encountered as one move from Mongols, Arctic, North America, southward, right. It say as one goes further south into the tropical forest areas, it say pictures of the Mongol type changes. It say some of these jungle types rather recall or more uncommonly of Phoenician. It say 100 years ago when there was far less European miscegenation. It say less blending of stocks. Phoenician types of the Pacific coast of California was more apparent, particularly the American counterpart of Darwin. All right, so boom, it say when you go down, they basically trying to tell you, man, you gotta read. Really, I don't have time to read through this right here because this is gonna take me way far left from what I'm trying to prove. But it has something to do with what I was telling you about Columbus finding the people. He tells you in this article right here. Let me see. I think it's like right towards the end. I know I'm rambling right now, y'all. I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to just prove, like, because they always show you the fucking, they always try to show you the Arawaks as looking like them Mongoloid looking people. And they don't tell you, you know what I'm saying? They don't tell you that there was already Negroes here, which we already showed you. I already showed you the skulls and everything that they said. But, you know, it's just another thing just to go with it, though. You know what? If I don't find it at this, I'm not going to keep on looking. Alright, so hold up. Here goes something right here. Alright. It say right here. I'm going to read right here. And you, like I said, I'm going to you can find this shit. If I don't put in a link, if you want it, just post a comment and I'll post it or whatever in the link if I forget. Because sometimes this shit be taking so long to download. By the time I upload it, I'll be fucking pressed for time. Alright, so now rises the question with what people did the bananas migrate. It said across the Atlantic. It said Peter Martar, which that's a source. It say has offered a valuable piece of information. He says it was originally bought from the part of Ethiopia. Now check this shit out. I just seen a map with Ethiopia being South America, which I showed you that yesterday. Now I say Ethiopia called Guinea. It say where it grows wild as in its native country. Now check this out. It say the explanation of this statement lies in the evidence that there were Negroes in America before Columbus arrived. Now check this out. It say Balboa, when in Duran in 1530, found some Negro slaves of the Lord. It say he asked them whence they got them, but they could not tell, nor did they know more than this. No, alright, this is kind of fucked up reading this, and the font is fucked up, so just bear with me. Alright, let me read that again. It say he asked them where they got him from. They could not tell him, nor did they know more of this. It say men of color was living nearby. It say, and there was constantly wars with them. These were the first Negroes that has been seen in the Indies, and I think no other has been noticed. Peter Maurer, it say, writing in the 3rd decade, according to the Magna, it say 1912, 11. Now this is 1912, all right? It says, give fuller detail of Negroes discovered only 2 years earlier and years before Thomas D. Berlanga. Now that's a source right there. Thomas D. Berlanga. Hold on, let me grab some water real quick, people. Hold on. Hey, yo, real talk. This right here, this article right here, excuse me, has a lot of information in it. And a lot of the people who love to do a lot of reading, please, I'm going to post this, man. Please read through this. I actually posted this before. Please read through this, because this shit has a lot of good information in it, all right? So let's go back down where was we at. All right here. It say Peter Martyr, it say writing in the 3rd decade. It say according to Magna, I already read this, 1912, give fuller detail of Negroes discovered only 2 years earlier and a year before Thomas D. Berlanga. It says to have brought to the Americas. It say the first banana. It say he remarks the Spanish found Negro slaves in the province of Quar. It say they only lived in the region one day march from Quaraquar. It say, and they are fierce and cruel. He said they are fierce and cruel. It said now they supposed to be slaves. Say now how the fuck is slaves supposed to be fierce and cruel? It says the way we just read the slaves that was in the Massachusetts, they was passive. Now check this out. It say there is no hint or suspicion that these Negroes are escaped slaves imported by the Spaniards. Now check this out right here. Okay, it says there is no hint, meaning that there is no there is no hint, meaning that no one even thought that these people was bought as slaves. It say or suspicion that these Negroes are escaped slaves imported by the Spanish. It say on contrary, Peter Martin offers a completely different solution. Now check this out. We might be going through a loop right here because I remember reading this. It say for their presence. It say he continued. It thought that Negro pirates of Ethiopia. Check this out. Established themselves after a wreck of their ship on these mountains. It say the natives of Quaraquar carried the incessant war of these Negroes. Massacre and slavery is alternative fortune of these people. The term incessant war gives impression that these Negroes has established in that location for some time. This early record of the presence of Negroes in America before the arrival of the Spanish is corroborated by the material evidence of American Negro skeletons, which long predates the arrival of the Spanish. Houghton reports on pre-Columbian skeletons dated from 900 AD, dug up in the valley of Peco River, which flowing through Texas and New Mexico empties itself via the Rio Grande and Gulf of Mexico, and so struck with Negro features of their skulls that he in 1930 writes as follows. Okay, compares the means of 6 indices of Pico Pseudo Negroes. Okay, they say with Zulu, Algani, and Kafar of Northern Negro. The Negro groups are a little more. This is a long word right here. It say Dalak House, whatever. I can't pronounce that shit. I don't feel like reading. It say and trend somewhat more strongly towards the I can't pronounce that word neither. The arbitrary indices are usually somewhat lower and the nasal indice. All right, so now they comparing the basically no. Now they got some other stuff in here, right here, because they show you right here, pseudo Negroes. It shows you, it say the different means of pseudo Negroes and variation groups, right? Now it shows you. Now I say, if you see this right here, this is something for people who do further research on more of the cranial, but he gets told you right there, man. He gets told you right. This is a very good article right here. It's called Bananas. It's called Bananas in America. All right, so I'm gonna post this. All right, so let me get back to what I was trying to read and finish up on this. All right, so we already showed you what the people in Bermuda look like. Let me see something. What was we right here? No, this wasn't it. My bad. I got a lot of stuff up. Alright, so right here it says Native Americans overseas occasionally made it back to the United States Fisher writes. Others died or disappeared in a wider slave market and labor force. It say or became established in the locations where they were sent, meaning that they fucking emigrated there. Okay, but it tells you it say occasionally they made it back. Okay, when they came back, what did they come back as? Okay, they say like the modern day community of the individuals of Bermuda who claim Native England in descent. Now check, that'll be something good to do some research on. Alright, but I bet you them people, watch they try. Let me see something, man. Let me see if I can find that real quick while we doing this. Let me see if it come up. Let me see what they look like. Let's see what they look like. Oh, hell no. Hell, well, let me see before I start. Fuck is this? Nah, this ain't, nah. I'm gonna have to do some further. This is gonna be more than just a Google search for this, y'all. I ain't even gonna look that up. Let me click out of that. Alright, but I showed you where these islands is at. We just read Bananas in America, and they already told you that it was already people in these areas or whatever. We already looked at the cranial evidence to where I don't even feel like pulling that shit up right now though, but let me see. I was somewhere else. I'm all over the place, people. Let me see. Damn, I'm all over the place. I don't know where the fuck I was at now. Let me see. Alright, I was actually looking at this too, because I was gonna somehow incorporate this back into the argument. But as you see, right, even with this right here, even when you go back and you look at this, right, all of these countries, why it's just so conveniently, right, that Spain, Portugal, Great Britain, Netherlands, you say United States, France, Denmark, okay? It's just so ironically that all of these states had contact with the indigenous people here already. And they already tell you that they was taking people from here. Now hold up, let me see something. Boom. Now we see Spain, Portugal, and Brazil. Most people would think the people in Brazil came from Africa, right? But when you read things that tells you otherwise, you have to do research and look into that. Okay? So, matter of fact, no, hold up. Let me see something. Let me see something. Hold up for a second, y'all. Alright, no, this is where we was at. We was right here. Alright, boom. This is where we was at. Right here. Alright, so look. Check this out. So they say the Cherokee Nation, right? Now look, we know she's an indigenous. We know he's mixed. He got white people in him, and you know, and maybe her too. Okay, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But look, African American Cherokee. This is some crazy shit. Look, more graffitis. Look, they look just like we do. They look just like we do. Like I said, then think about it like this. All black people, they look alike, but they don't look alike. The black people from like from over in other places, some of them look more like we do. Now, how you can tell us is by our eyes. Now, look at this. You can tell this nigga like an African American. You know, I mean, he look like an Aborigine, but AKA what they call us. All right. So look. Now I ain't trying to say Chimaka, Cherokee, African American, Hispanic, and European. Why would she even play herself and say she all that? Because that's what I'm saying. People don't have no ideas, man. Now this is descent. Now check this out. It's just ironically that all these people got dark-skinned people, but they will automatically admit that the dark-skinned person is the fucking slave or the person that came from Africa, and that is not correct. Now let me see something. This is something interesting. I need to look at this. Let me see. Maybe I can find something what I was not. Let me see what I was looking for. Alright, so boom. So it already tells you right here that the Portuguese, I think it's this one right here. Hold up. Let me read this. It say much of the so-called African American slave trade was fabricated. There was no slave trade. An independent source showing that so-called Indian on the eastern seaboard called Terra Nova was more. All right. So if you don't agree with that, just blank that out. It say is a book called. Is a book called African Americans and Native Americans by Jack Forbes. And you know what? At some point in time, I'm gonna play Jack Forbes' video, and I'm gonna play bits and slices of it, and I'm gonna compare that with the people who was already here, and let you see from there. All right. It say he shows in the book how many so-called Native Americans were sold into slavery in Africa and Europe. This is the opposite direction in which we was taught. The slave trade went in. These Native Americans or Indians were classified as Negroes. Okay, now they're not going to call a Native American a Negro unless he was a Negro. He's just using the word Native American to throw you off so you can be confused, because these words have images. And with the images, you're going to automatically start thinking what you think a Native American is. But if they're telling you now that Native American is classified as Negro, who else do they call Negro? Have you ever heard any motherfucking Indian on these reservations called Negro? Have you? That's a question you should ask yourself. Have you ever heard any of them called Negro? Who do they call Negro? Alright? Say in the book, in the slave book of Seville, Spain. So somebody wrote a book, Seville slaves in Seville, Spain. So whoever want to debate that, go look that book up. But I bet you whoever do it, they always, motherfuckers who debate should always find all this imaginary stuff. Oh, this guy, when he wrote this, oh, he was on dust. Oh no, when he wrote this book, oh, he was getting injections, and the doctor said he was disorientated, and he wasn't in no position to write a book. This is the shit that people come up with, because they will immediately attack the author. That's what people do. Even your own people, when you show them evidence like this, they immediately start attacking the author. Never mind, this author got almost 300, 400 page book. Attack the content in the book, because it can't be attacked. You attack the author, then you make the author lose credibility, and then his book just go right out the window, such as When Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler, which I like I said, I'm a researcher, so I would definitely take that book the same way people take all these other books. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, so let's keep on reading, all right? So it's all right. It's on page 29. Slaves from Terra Nova. Okay, we already know what Terra Nova is. All right, a lot of this stuff is just repetitive, and we just keep going over it. It say show up in the slave market in Seville, Valencia, very soon after 1500. For example, Valencia during the period 1516, we find 1503 Miguel. All right, we read that. Now let me see something else real quick. I believe it was in this one. Nah, hold on. It was one of these PDFs I got. It wasn't this one. Might have been this one. Let me see something. I bet this is. Alright. Let me read a little bit of this and we're gonna be done with this, alright? And it's just a little bit additional information, alright? It say enslavement by the Indians themselves. The discussion of the use of the Indians as slaves by the Aborigines. Enslaved by the Aborigines within the present limit of the United States. Both. Now hold up. It's saying the discussion of the use of Indians as slaves by the Aborigines. Okay, we are the Aborigines. It's reversal. The Indians had the Aborigines enslaved. All right, so remember that. We the Aborigines is first contact. Where did they first come? Roanoke Island, Virginia. Where did they also first come? The island of Espanol. We just read Bananas in America. They already told you that black people was here pre-Columbian. So don't think the motherfucker think it was only 3 or 4 black people here. Okay, it was 2 or 3 of them in that area, and that was it. It wasn't no more. Wasn't no more of them. Nowhere else. That was it. There was only 3 of them right there. Okay. Now this is the illusion that they give people, and people never open their mind and say, hold up, if there was Negroes here, you can't put no number on how many was here. All right, you can't not put no number, and I'm not qualified to sit up here and say the research and try to sit up here and guess or guesstimate how many people was here. All right, so all right, it say within the present limit of the United States, both before and after the coming of the Europeans. All right, so they're saying that we was enslaving ourselves before the Europeans. Okay, it say may be prefaced by the statement that the institution of slavery in some form was practiced universally. Certain tribes held slaves more generally than others. The various tribes were more subject to enslavement than others, according to their relative strength and weaknesses. Yet now here in the territory under discussion did slavery exist on such an extensive scale that some tribes held others in state of subjection and demanded servile labor from them. It say slavery in among the Great Plains. Hold on, that's not what I'm trying to get to. I don't want to read that part right here. That's what I want in colonial town. Hold up. Hold on for 1 second. Alright, boom. Let me see. I'm going to read this anyway, because this is going to tell us something. No. They say, though slavery is the strictest sense was not generally in the territory above mentioned, yet some form of the institution, they call that shit an institution. An institution like fucking prisons or schools and shit. They call slavery an institution. It's saying is recorded as having existed among the leading tribes. In the discussion which follows, the term slave must then be considered in its broadest sense: a prisoner held by his captor as an inferior and forced to labor for him. Well, that's why I wanted to read it, okay? Let's go back over that. Say, in the discussion which follows, the term slave must then be considered in its broadest sense: a prisoner held by his captor as an inferior and forced to labor for him, or sold into servitude or freedom for the financial benefit of his capture. It say will be considered as a slave when thus threatened by the Indians. Say, and he will be so considered in the later discussion when thus treated by the whites. Okay. All right. It say, I don't want to. That's not my people right there, but I can read this right here. It say the Indians were inveterate gamblers, okay? and when nothing else was left, both men and women non-infrequently stalked themselves. It say to serve as slaves in case of loss. It say such slavery was sometimes for loss and sometimes for such short periods. It say of time as the year of two. Let me see something. Hold up, man. I don't like that. I didn't know what that word meant. So hold tight real quick. Inveterate. It say also or often to do something. It say always or often happening or existed. Now they saying that, hold up. Inveterate gamblers. They saying that the Indians was inveterate gamblers. That's why they gave them motherfuckers casinos, because that's where they got gambling from. Okay, now look. Inveterate. It says always or often happening or existed. Okay. Now, they saying they was gamblers, okay? Who else like to gamble a lot? Who like to play CeeLo, 2 dice, blackjack, 3-card motley, spades, shit? Who else like to gamble a lot? Huh? Who else like to gamble a lot? And that's the funny thing, that all this shit that was here is being exploited by the people, because the same way you like to smoke when they got here, but now they put poison in the tobacco to where you no longer live long and you catch cancers and shit. Your ancestors are smoking fucking cigarettes and they was living to be 100 years old. Okay? They was living to be 100 years old. They know we like to smoke. They know we like to gamble. They know this shit already. They just said that the Indians were inveterate gamblers. And when nothing else was left, both men and women non-frequently stalked themselves and served as slaves in case of law. Such slavery was sometimes for life and sometimes for such short periods of time as 2 years. In case of feminine, it say the Indians even sold their children to obtain food. The slave possessions by given Indian tribes were often. Damn, that's some crucial and hard shit, man. Alright, so let me see. I want to read some more of this right here. This is interesting. Let me see something. I don't think this got nothing to do. Just bear with me, y'all. I just want to see something real quick. Alright, boom. Let's go up. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna read this, and we done. Alright, that's gonna be it right here. Alright, I'm gonna read this, the next one, and we're gonna be done with this one. Alright. It says enslavement by the Indians themselves. Alright, it say obtain thorough borders with other tribes. It say the intertribal traffic, though probably not common, was evidently far-reaching, owing to the wandering habits of the Indians. It's saying their customs of bartering goods and other tribes. Now, they was bartering shit the same way, setting up shops and everything, the same way that the Moors was doing in Europe. Okay? Bartering goods. Okay? So, it say with other tribes. It say also, articles of copper became distributed throughout the Northwest. Okay, it says especially in Wisconsin and Illinois, Indians possessed slaves who came from the sea coast. Slaves came from the sea coast, probably Florida. Illinois also bartered their slaves with the Ottawa for guns, powder, kettle, and knives. It's saying, and with the Iroquois to obtain peace. Marquette. Now remember, Marquette is a fucking college, and I believe it's a city or some type of corporation. They say found 1673 among Arkansas Indians. Arkansas. Niggas lived in Arkansas. Niggas lived in Illinois. Niggas lived in Wisconsin. It say, hold up. Let's see something real quick. Okay? Since we got this pulled up here, and why I got this pulled up here. Where is this at? This is Wisconsin, Illinois, Arkansas. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if we can find Arkansas on here real quick. Hold on, I just went past it. It's right here. Let's see if we can find. Let's see if they got a. That's Alaska. Should be right here. Arizona. Arkansas. Okay, here we go. Let's see if it's niggas in Arkansas. See, they ain't got no census until, and they ain't got no Indians though. They still ain't got no Indians in Arkansas or whatever. They did in 18. I don't even think they. See, a lot of them states, they didn't start doing the census until after they stopped warring with a lot of them tribes, and you know what I'm saying, later on. But you see, a lot of these states, the census wasn't even done. So let me see something. Let me go Illinois. Idaho right here, Illinois right here. That's Hawaii. Hold up. Alright, boom. Here go Illinois. That's 1,800. See, yeah. See, they ain't giving us a good, precise count right here. But you don't see no Indians in there. And they just told you that they had Indians as fucking slaves in them states right there. Hold up. It's this one right here. Alright, so I'm going to read some more of this just so you get an idea of how these people was living. Alright, so it's a copper disputes to the Illinois Indians possession. Alright, we read that. We was down here. Alright, so hold up. Here we go. It's a Marquette found among the Arkansas Indians knives, beads. It's a beads and hatchets. It's a which has been obtained partly from Illinois and partly from the Indians further to the east. Okay, further to the east. Anytime you talk about further to the east, they talk about the south, or they talk about anywhere from the Canada to Florida. The Jesuit Gilon relates that the Chinese Tartary had met a Huron woman who he had known in America. The transition from the method of obtaining slaves by the actual warfare and barter to that the mere slave raise was an easy one. The desire to gain the reputation of a skillful hunter and still more of a brave warrior, and thus to win the estimate of regard of tribesmen was inherent among the native. It say to be a brave warrior was to be truly a man. It say so eager was Indians to acquire the name of brave. It say that unhesitatingly underwent any hardship. All right. Let me see. Let me read this, and we're gonna keep it moving. All right. So Indian slavery in colonial times. Say the obtained slaves or the scout as proof of his qualification for his title. All right. So we were scalping each other. It say this meant the obtained slaves was used by the stronger tribes like the Illinois and the Iroquois. It say the slaves bartered by the Illinois was generally taken into territory beyond the Mississippi. It say the Illinois was better able to do after the comings of the whites. It say, and they provided with guns. Say while the Indians to the west had no weapons of sort. Now it's saying the Indians to the west had no weapons of sort. So the Indians that was coming in contact, or the Aborigines that was coming in contact with the Europeans had weapons, and the ones that was further west didn't. But later on they would give the ones further west the guns to overtake the ones in the east. They say one of the chief sources from which these slaves was obtained was the Pawnee Nation in 1790. It say dude Tenage wrote the Bineville, the commandant of New Orleans, that the Pawnee was afraid of him when he arrived among them. It say as their neighbors, the Ansar had made them believe that he meant that his intention was to entrap and enslave them. They say the same practice was followed by another northern tribe, the Lejeune, I guess that's how you pronounce it, saying 1632, found slaves among the Algonquin, the Indians of the Great Lake reign had a young, I don't know how to pronounce that. It say as a slave in 1646. Tonti found Iroquois slaves among the Huron and the Ottawa, the Dutch navigator. All right. So now look, check this out. Dutch navigator, right? Now, like I said, man, you just gotta use your damn brain when it comes to this shit, bro, because it's obvious. Let me see something. See, Denmark. All of these states that they mentioned are people who came to the Americas first. Okay? All of them that they mentioned are people that came. Spain, we already know Columbus said he took people back, and when they could not find gold, they started using the people. Portugal did the same, because even when you go to this article right here, let me see, it's down. It's right, it's this one right here. No, if it's not right there, it's the next paragraph. Alright, it's right here. Here you go. They say Columbus became the first man known in history to send the first slaves across the Atlantic. Other nations rushed to emulate Columbus. What I told you. Other nations rushed to emulate Columbus. Okay? Who was them other nations? The Portuguese. Okay? In 1501, the Portuguese began to deport the Beothuk Indians to Cape Verde as slaves. The black Indian slavery destroyed the Indian nation of whatever, Yamasee, Pequot became of this. The first African slave raid took place in 1505, and the spearhead was Columbus' son. Whatever. All right. So it's telling you right here. It said once Columbus brought them people back, they was like, oh shit, that's how y'all doing it? Oh man, well, and you know what? And it's the same scenario in Belly when my man like, yo, I don't like that shit, man. He like, I don't like that shit, man. And the same scenario, they like, yo, them niggas doing it like that. They bringing back Negroes? Oh shit. Yo, go grab that boat. We're going to do the same fucking thing. And this leads them to Brazil. And this is the reason why when you go to Brazil and you look, you don't understand. Like you don't understand right here. Look, Brazil. And they're telling you why you think the number's going up, because these are how they shipping the people out. Okay, this is how they shipping the people out. Okay, this is how they shipping the people out, and these are your numbers of the fucking Americans that were shipped around the damn world. These are not fucking Africans. These are Americans that were shipped around the world. Why else would they have all these articles about Indian slaves that were shipped different places? Okay, and then people just you using the Indians simultaneously with the so-called blacks or the so-called Aborigines or Africans that you think. All right, well, hold on, let me clarify that. Or that, with you using the Indians with the Africans. Okay, they trying to run these stories concurrent at the same time when one is the other. Okay, and it can't be both. One is the other. Okay, because first you said you was bringing people here, but now to find out you were shipping people out of here. You understand? And that's pretty much what it is, man, because when you read that right there, that tells you. You understand? That tells you they were shipping people out of here, and here go your people that they were sending out right here. I read in the other article earlier that they enslaved 5 million people in Massachusetts alone. Okay, and I just read another article that told you that when they got to Britain, when the British got to when the British got to West Indies, or when they took it over from the Spain or whatever, it was already Negroes there. And we just read that, alright? They found skulls and all that shit. So we just went over that, alright? So I'm gonna finish this up, man. Let me see. It's this one. We're gonna finish this one up, and we're gonna get out of here, alright? Alright, it say Henderson. It say in 1616 found the Indians of Schuylkill River country holding Indian slaves. It say of all the northern Indians, the Iroquois was far the most powerful. It say it say they were the enemies in the time of the early French explorers and settlement. It say of the Huron. It's the Huron, Huron. I guess that's how you pronounce it, Huron. It's saying the Iroquois, saying from these tribes they took many captives whom they enslaved. It say the statement has been made that no personal slavery ever existed among the Iroquois that they captured was either killed or adapted as a part of the nation. It say quite contrary is true that it say they held both Indians and whites in personal slavery. Right there, look at that. It say they held Indians and whites in personal slavery. Okay, they're telling you that they held Indians and whites in personal slavery. They say they brought back from the Ohio County bands of captives. It say sometime numbering 300 to 400. It say they preyed upon the Shawnee and carried them off into slavery. They captive and enslaved the Miami. The Miami. See, there must have been people in Florida. It say for who redemption they were presented with quantities of beaver skin. Okay? See, they was already wearing this shit over here. It say these they receive but fell to free the slaves. They brought home slaves from Maryland and the South and from the land of the Chat. They say it was the Iroquois, the Seneca, called by an early writer, Sanaga. It say who enslaved captive taken from the tribes of the Carolina and Florida. That's why I told you the Miami. The Miami is a fucking tribe, yo. And they telling you it's a fucking country. It's a fucking city in Florida. Okay, so Indians, I'm gonna read it up with this right here. It say, matter of fact, you know what? Let me see what this takes me into right here. Alright. It say similarity practices are related to the Southern Indians. The Virginia tribes possess people of rank inferior to common to sort as servants, say called black boys. Now check this shit out. Hold the fuck up. Check this shit out right here. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Look at this. Hold up. Check this out right here. Look. I just seen something the other day on this. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see something. Indian slaves, black boys. Let me see if I can get that. Black boys. I just seen this shit the other day on a cigarette pack. Yo, watch this shit. Let me see if I can find it, yo. Let me see if I can find this shit. Nah, you know what? Hold up. I just seen this shit. Let me see something. Let me see something. I just seen this shit right here too. I know I ain't crazy. Let me see something. They got something to do with these pictures right here, but hold up. I think these are the fucking black boys right here, man. Cause I seen something else, man. Let me see. Hanging it right there. Let me see something, man. I gotta find this for you guys, man. Cause I just seen this shit the other day, yo, and I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Matter of fact, you know what? I think I got it on my phone. Hold up. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. Hold on, please. I just seen this shit on my phone the other day. I was just looking at it. It might be on this one right here. Alright, hold on. I think I got it right here. I think I got it. Nah, I can't even find that shit, man. I know I just had that shit on my phone. Damn. Bet I got it right here, yo. Here it is, right here. Let me see something. Let me see something. Watch this. Let me see if it come up now. Let me see if it come up now. Bet, look. What I tell y'all, look. It say 2 black boys against the Somerset House in White Strand. It's saying it's in London, okay? Now these are Indians, right? But where the fuck was I at? Damn, y'all, I forgot where the fuck I was at, y'all. I'm bugging. Sorry about that. I think we was here. No, we wasn't here. Well, we was right here. I'm sorry about that. Alright, so it's saying, alright, it say Virginia tribes possess people of rank inferior to common. It say a sort of servant. It say called black boys. It say attendant until the gentry. It say when Mendez founded St. Augustine, it say in 1565, it say he discovered in the native village the descendants of the band of Cuban Indians who had come to the mainland, had been taken prisoners by Florida Indians and reduced to slavery. All right. Now, this is just really pretty much telling you how a lot of tribes had slaves, but for the most part, I think I covered some good information on this. I'm gonna let's cut it with this right here. I'm gonna read this right here, and I'm gonna keep it, and we're gonna cut it. All right. Saying in the South, the strongest tribes were the Choctaw and the Chickasaw. It said these 2 tribes were not only at war with each other. They say, which each other from time to time, but they preyed upon the weakest tribes of the surrounding country. All right, the surrounding country. It's saying 1777, a Khan, I can't pronounce it. It's a chief informed Lahart. It say on his journey to the Nansani northwest from the Natatox. It say that was Chickasaw had killed and enslaved their nation until it was then very small, and that the remnant had been forced to take refuge among the Nasato and the Nasani. They say the Chickasaw enslaved the Chickamee and the small tribes living between them and the Cherokee. About 1770 captured and burned their village, and the chief of his warriors were slain, and the women and children became the slaves of the conquerors. Okay, so that's telling you right there. That's the reason why a lot of Negroes probably don't get along now and still prey among each other. And this is the reason why they was probably able to do what they did, because of the tribes warring with one another. So with that being said, man, I don't know when I'm gonna get my live stream back up, but fuck it, we're gonna have to go back to doing it the old school way. Pretty much you already know what it is, man. With that being said, man, y'all have a good day.